Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Just sitting here, finishing up some coffee this morning, doing a little bit of work. So you can see those panels behind me are catching good sun today. Got breakfast cooking out there in the solar cooker. So all part of an off-grid life, or as I also like to call it, the never-ending camping trip. So why do I call it the never-ending camping trip? Well, when I was young, we used to go camping all the time. Parents, grandparents, they always took us out camping. Everybody was like super, super happy when we were camping. And that made a big impression on me as a kid. So the older I get, of course, I kept camping all the time. And I was always happiest when I was camping. So I've told a lot of you like how I started to live this off-grid life. And the fact that it's like camping is what I really like. Come out into the nature. Simple life, simple food, simple days. Sit around the campfire, whatever it was you did. I was lucky enough to have parents and grandparents that really appreciated the outdoors, so we spent as much time as we could pitching tents, little trailers. Over the years, it was a lot of different things. And the older I got, I just wanted to camp all the time. And I would liken my life off-grid to the never-ending camping trip, which I really like. Beautiful day today. Just walking around. I consider this work. Beautiful day going off. Got that solar cooker cooking over there. It's been cooking up some breakfast for about the past half an hour. A couple of you asked me about that video. How easy was that thing to clean? It was so easy. It literally took less than 2 minutes to clean that thing up. It comes with a little adapter brush on it. So the cleanup on it is super, super easy. Yeah. Catching sun. All systems are full early in the day. Not even going to use any propane to cook up this morning's meal. Late morning, early afternoon. Yeah, pretty happy. Beautiful day. Wander over here and take a peek at that solar cooker. It must be getting some action because I see the animals starting to gather around. Let's take a peek. What's up, P? How's breakfast going? I see you're getting close. And we got the sun straight in the bullseye of the solar cooker, so it's just cooking perfectly. Starting to see some steam droplets, condensation building up on the edge. Oh, it just popped open on its own. Oh, I can smell that. Smells good. Beautiful solar cooking conditions today. Look at that steam rolling out of there. That's really cooking. Let's try and get the heat gun on there. Not much of a change in diet since the other day when I showed you this, but this morning we're cooking up some real big sausages, and then we're going to toss some eggs in there. These are cooked. These are cooked. These are fully cooked. Let me stick the heat gun on there. Oops, get it on there good. What do we got? 215 degrees. Completely cooked, a little crispy like I like it. I did dump off a teeny bit of oil, which at the end of the tray, there's a little hole. You can just pull it out, tip it up a little bit, drain off any excess oil you want to, or grease. But those babies are completely done. Yeah, nice and hot. I can hold that still. Very, very hot. Steam just rolling off of them. And they're getting crispy just the way I like them. Pretty nice. Wow, look at that steam roll out of there. Just amazing. Okay, so those are done. And I will consider that work for the day. I only dumped off a little bit of grease, but the animals quickly came in here and lapped it up out of that bowl. So I'll show you at the very end, the back end where the handle is not. Here's the handle where you pick this up, insert it into the tube. You can see the oil that cooked off, and then there's a little hole here, so you can just, tip that up, drain it out. And obviously when I was draining it, when that meat was cooking, I just kept a fork on the end of it to keep things from spilling out. And there was a little bit more. They didn't have a lot of grease in there, but anyway, that's all you got to do to, if you're cooking something that this tray starts to get really full. But that thing got so hot so fast today in this straight overhead sun that part of the meal is done and cooked. And because that meat was stacked up pretty tall in there, it obviously got, some of it inside the top of the tube at the very least. So I'll show you that to get that tube clean. It came with this adapter brush right here. It's kind of like a old Brillo pad. You screw that right onto the end of this, like so. So then you would take this and put it into the tube with some soapy water, and you could give it a back and forth method. Now make sure, I've got this sitting up in the shade now, you want to make sure that you let that tube cool all the way off so you don't shock the glass, which if you shock it with any kind of temperature is like putting frozen stuff into there. You never want to do that. Make sure whatever you're cooking has been thawed. And then, like I mentioned before, do not place this unit out in the sun until you are ready to slide your food right in there. So now when it cools off, I can just take this into the sink, fill it up with a little soapy water, agitate it with this brush adapter back and forth, rinse it out, dry it off, and then repackage the whole thing. The tray is super easy to clean. You can see that we did cook the things nice and hot today. But again, just a little soapy water in here, a little back and forth. Only takes a couple of minutes from start to finish. You can clean this whole thing up in under 5 minutes, even with a heavy load like I cooked it this morning. So, yeah. Okay, part 1 is done. So now we're going to do part 2. I put a few pats of butter in there. Going to line this thing up with some eggs, stick it back out there in the sun. And that will be the meal today. Sausage and eggs. Okay, so this is an experiment. This is the first time I've tried cooking eggs. I've got 8 eggs lined up in there with a little bit of butter. I figured that might help to kind of give them a frying effect. There was a little grease from those sausages left in there, but I didn't think it'd be enough to keep them from sticking. So this is an experiment. So now that they're in there, I'll put them in the tube and take them outside. And helpful hint of the day is maybe don't carry that tray out there with 8 eggs in it. Maybe be closer to the cooker, because I lost the balance of it a little bit and one of them came right out. So now we're down to 7 eggs. Call in the cleanup crew. Egg drop on aisle 7. Okay, so I had to reach under here. There's kind of a little grab bar to where you can turn the entire array towards the sun. I've had to adjust it a couple little times just to keep the sun As you can see, that bright dot square in that bullseye, that little bright dot right there is the sun. There are some clouds up there, but all in all, it's been cooking. And I believe, just by what I can see here and feel here, this is very hot. This stays actually fairly cool, as do the foils. Let's take a peek and see what this looks like. Well, there's a little bit of a vacuum seal going on there now. Okay, there we got it. Oh yeah, there's the butter, there's the eggs. Yeah, yeah, those babies are done. Those are done. Okay, we can eat now. Very good. All with the sun. Perfect. Okay, those are done. Actually, they were a little overdone. The yolks aren't as runny as I would like them. I turned my back on them for, probably 10 or 15 minutes when they were probably ready, and I overcooked them a little bit. But anyway, shoot, there's breakfast, all cooked with the sun and that solar cooker. So pretty happy about that. Gonna eat now. Anyway, that's kind of the shape they come out of. They take the shape of the cylinder, but that's fine. Yeah, that's gonna work. Well, that was really good. You ever notice when you're camping how your food just tastes better? Is that just the state of mind, or is that real? Anyway, getting the dishes done now. Well, I guess we'll call that a day. Full belly, time to relax. All right, everybody. Aloha. Thanks for tuning in.